It's recording. Okay. Okay, hi.
Hi,
Okay, why don't you tell everybody your name and how old you are and what instrument you play?
I'm Anu. I am 17 years old, and Kira has been teaching me how to play guitar for the last 3 years. It's been 3 years.
It's been that long.
Wow.
We're getting old. Oh, so what made you want to take lessons in the first place, like 3 years ago, way back when?
Well, music has always been a big part of my life. I've always loved singing, so that kind of made me want to take a class to learn how to play an instrument to like incorporate with my singing.
That's good. Okay, cool. I'm like getting distracted because I always look at your Bob Ross painting in the back. It's so funny. And
I'm so like, this is not me.
you fine, you fine, you fine. All right. Going from where you were to where you are now, then has your viewpoint on music or like it's the role that music plays in your life, has it changed from 3 years ago when you started to where you are now?
It has definitely changed because I used to have a smaller perspective on music, and like throughout the years, as I've learned more about it, I've come to realize that there are like endless possibilities when it comes to music, whether it's like singing or chord progressions. Like,
It's cool. It's good. And I mean, like, so I've been your teacher from the beginning. Whenever we enroll like new students, we always try to pair them up with the teacher that fits them best. And I feel like we're a pretty good fit, student and teacher. What you think? But so going into that, then a lot of people um recently, especially with how technology is now, then people learn how to play instruments on YouTube because you know how everybody learns everything off of YouTube, how to do makeup, how to cook. People learn how to play guitar, piano, all of it. Or you can, learn from a textbook. Everybody can be self-taught. But do you feel like the relationship between having an actual student and teacher face-to-face relationship is important when you're learning something like music, where it's important to be able to interact with other people and play and learn how to be, I guess, social through your instrument and singing and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, um, I like having an actual person to teach me because like you can help me on like specific things I need help on, or even if it's like not music related, like if I just need a therapist sometimes.
I love that.
You're a very good therapist.
I feel important. Oh, I love that. Okay, cool. Well, oh, okay. So, in the beginning, we started with just guitar, and then had to do a few performances. I didn't even know you sang from when you started, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I sing," and then now you're singing all the time. So,
Yeah.
I guess can you talk about how that helped you like progress to singing and playing and posting things online? Like, how has it built your confidence? Because I feel like you're a totally different person from when you started like 3 years ago.
Um, Yeah, I used to have really bad stage fright, and like being exposed, like when you would have me play at Hard Rock, like I would have that kind of exposure, and it really helped like tear down my stage fright. So like, that was great for me, and like I keep saying this, but the possibilities are endless.
Well, I'm glad because I remember in the beginning you're like, I never sang in front of people before, and then
Yeah.
now you were on my For You page on TikTok, and I was like, what?
Wait, what actually?
Yeah, actually. So I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I saw you. But yeah, so I think that's super cool because getting to like see you, I don't want to sound old, but since I am older than you, I kind of like got to see you grow up per se. Because I mean, like, you're going to be finishing high school, you know? And I basically got you in the beginning of high school. And to see like your personality grow and like your musicianship has been like amazing. But yeah, so from there, so performing, singing, and growing your confidence, you kind of turned to songwriting. So can you kind of explain how that happened? Because some people never learn how to songwrite or never kind of get there, kind of push themselves to do that. They'll always just do covers and learn other people's songs. So what made you want to songwrite in the first place?
Well, part of the reason that I started songwriting was actually because you wanted me to like start the songwriting project, and then that gave me motivation. That gave me some motivation to want to do it more. Because like before, I tried, but like it was not that good. Then when you told me to do it, I did it, and then like having this emotion from like this one relationship that I was in, like it was like a lot of emotion. Like I put that into the song, and like the words just like flowed out of me.
It's good. I mean, that took care of my next question. I was going to say what inspires you, but you kind of explained that. So would you say like you write songs based on whatever you're going through?
Definitely.
So you'd say, is it a has it been a good outlet for you? Like, do you feel better when you express yourself through music and through your songwriting?
Yeah, because I'll take my emotions, whether it's like happiness or even anger, I can just put it into a song and like make something good out of it. Like, good.
Oh, yeah, good. I like it. No, it's really good. I thought you meant good, whether it's happy or something. I was like, everything's good. Everything that you sent me is amazing. I love it. And I feel like I was
Thank
so
you.
surprised because the first song that we worked on together, when I said that I wanted to work on a song project with you, then you brought it back to me um, after a few weeks going through the first half and then having that final product. I was so surprised because for your first full song, it was so good.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because I feel like every songwriter is different. So I feel like starting you from, well, not exactly scratch because you've done it before, but having to kind of push you into the deep end to write a full song is something different for me because it's always cool to see how people will react to it and what's going to come out of it, you know? I get to see your thought process a little bit because in the beginning, we started out with, I think you brought a verse, pre chorus, and a chorus of the song. I
I
think it
think
was
we
a verse,
started.
pre chorus,
I
something
think
like
I should
that.
show you the entire song because
Oh,
like I
yeah.
remember I wrote it the entire week.
Yeah. And um, I remember giving you my poetry books to take home and kind of look
Mm-hmm.
through just because it's something that like kind of helps me. So I thought that it would help you too. And I don't know, it's kind of trial and error. So after starting guitar 3 years ago, then have you dabbled in any other instruments?
I since quarantine, I began to kind of teach myself how to play piano. It's been a bit more difficult than guitar.
That's okay, but it helps, right? Having that prior knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
everything kind of works together. And you've sent me some of your songs that you've written on the piano. And for someone who doesn't play piano, that's pretty good. You took your chord progressions and everything.
Yeah.
So, with that, do you feel like having the prior knowledge through just our lessons has helped you apply yourself to your songwriting? Like, how did you figure out how to do chord progressions in your songs?
I look for patterns, kind of. Like I would start off with a chord progression, like just a random chord progression, just making sure that it was in the same key and everything. Because I barely even knew about keys when we started doing this. Part of it was like taking inspiration from like other songs. Like I would notice chord progression patterns in other songs, and I would kind of like try to use that on the guitar.
um, During quarantine, since everything has started and um, nobody's been able to go outside or do anything, then how has music helped you get through that? Because everybody's lonely, everybody's bored. I mean, of course, you have school because school's important, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how has music helped you kind of get through this?
Music has been a really big part of my quarantine because like if I'm bored, I play music. I always have a guitar on hand, so I just flip this out, and then I think the first week is when I started writing more songs, and then after that, like songwriting process just got easier and easier. Um, it's been quarantine has been good for my music because
Yeah,
I've been uploading like covers to YouTube and stuff. I've had more time to do that, more time to work on songwriting.
I'm so glad. Right, because right before quarantine, well, not right before, but I mean, a short time before quarantine is when we kind of were finalizing your first song project and going from having your first full song to now sitting there because you can't go outside and then writing two, three, or four more songs. That's a pretty big jump from someone who hadn't written anything before this. So I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I could be a part of it. And I love when you send me stuff because when you sent me that song where you're like, I couldn't wait until Wednesday, I have to show you. I was like, that's my girl. I had to show Esri and Peyton because I was like, she wrote another song. Yeah. But I'm so glad. And yeah, that's so crazy. But when you think about it, I mean, hopefully you've seen yourself grow as much as I have from the outside perspective. I know that it's different from other people's eyes, but from another person's eyes, because I mean, I'm an outside source. But have you seen how much you've grown from the beginning all the way until now?
Yeah, crazy.
I know,
I
right?
I hardly knew anything about music. Like I just like singing and that was it. That's pretty much where I was at when I first started taking guitar lessons. And then after all these lessons, like you taught me more than just guitar. Like you taught me useful things that I can apply to like songwriting.
Oh, I'm glad.
And that's really good.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're able to connect with our students in that way too, because I feel like without that personal connection, I don't know if I'd be able to get you to the point where you could write a full song, because you need that emotional connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's all just laid out in front of you, and then you have all the pieces, but you don't know what to do with it. And I'm glad that I could help you kind of put it together. But yeah, I'm glad that your confidence has grown enough for you to post things online because you went from not singing in public to singing all the time now and writing songs and showing people songs. Makes me so excited.
I really want to thank you for being my guitar teacher all these years. It's really
Oh,
helped. And
oh,
I had a friend in the process. So
oh, I'm so glad. Oh, that makes me so happy. Well, I'm glad. But yeah, hopefully we can do another one like this again. I feel like it would be cool to kind of talk. Maybe we can talk about different topics sometimes. We can do a full one on songwriting next time too. But thank you for doing this with me. I know it was kind of awkward because we're both awkward. I've never done this before, so thank you for being the first one that I'm comfortable doing this with.
yeah,
But yeah, thank you. Well, this is Anu. Thank you for doing this with me. And I'm glad that we can showcase some of our students and a lot of their talents because I feel like everybody deserves to know what you guys have been doing, been working on because you guys have been working so hard. So, but yeah, I'm going to stop the recording now. Hold on. I'm so awkward. Hold on. Let me gather.
but what was I saying? What I was saying? Oh my gosh. What was the question?
No, it was just about You're fine. We can cut all of it. Don't worry.